All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic start to the AM here. Happy Thursday in what has been an awesome trading week here so far, right? Win streak continues. I think now probably pushing 14 days at this point. So, second longest streak here of the year. And definitely a really good answer to essentially the choppy limited price action, right, that we've seen here in the last 2 weeks or so. And it's a very important reminder, right, that trading goes well when we control not only our expectations, but we control our executions. We control our position sizing. We control our risk management. We focus on protecting our mental capital. We focus on protecting our wins right before they turn into losses. And when we do all of those elements and focus on them with a tremendous amount of excellence, right, and discipline and focus and enthusiasm, all the kind of positive adjectives one can think of, then the ability to compound our trading accounts and create for ourselves the future that we want is honestly, it's addictive, right? It's so much fun. It feels as if you could accomplish anything. And so falling in love with that process, falling in love with that sort of like day-to-day grind of believing in yourself and trusting yourself and learning about how to push yourself and how to learn from your mistakes and how to avoid, right, your obvious errors and how to basically attack each day so that you become the best person you can be, but also the best trader you can be, is an incredibly exciting. I think it's probably the best reason why we play this game, or at least for me, right? I'm constantly highlighting to myself with my actions what I'm good at, what I'm bad at, what I need to fix. And then when I fix it, I get this incredible reward, right? This incredible level of satisfaction. And so it's a really fun opportunity. And I'm excited to keep playing this game with you all here this morning, right? Taking that level of improvement, hopefully scaling up, finding that sort of joy in our day-to-day process, and just constantly getting better each and every day. And so that's the focus here this morning. That's the emphasis. That's what I want to put all my energy and focus into here today. And just remind myself, right, that it is the quality of my process that creates the P&L that I crave. When I start to make decisions based on P&L decisions, right, or P&L outcomes, then I start to ignore the quality of my process and just put myself further and further behind the 8 ball and just never get that sustained or sustainable progress that I need to be successful. So from a fundamental basis, that's what today is going to be all about, right? How can I make sure that I'm setting myself up to put myself in situations where I'm proud of how I behaved, of how I traded, and not riding the P&L roller coaster and just allowing that variable to be a side quest, right? More than anything else. And so very much looking forward to what should hopefully be a very interesting trading day here, right? It's month end. We've got a lot of earnings. It's, Jen, you said it well. It's spooky season here this morning, right? So we're absolutely looking forward to seeing an elevated amount of volatility here today. We'll see if we can get ourselves a good amount of continuation here. And let's see if we can get ourselves like that first kind of trend day here of the week and really take advantage of that move. So with that being said, let's start mapping things out here this morning. Let's figure out what we want to do. And let's put ourselves in a situation where it's easy to be green. So good morning, Suresh, Paras, Steven, Joe, Don, James, Samuel, Jen, Mike, Craig, Salstein, John, Ruben, and Cordell. Good morning. Hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic start to the AM. Good morning, Juan. Good morning, Brett. And good morning to all DTR guests here who are joining us for the 5th time, the first time, whatever it might be. Say hello, get involved, ask lots of questions, and let's absolutely keep kicking some serious butt here like we have been, excuse me, like we have been over the last month or so. All right. So first things first, economic calendar here this morning, right? Okay, quite a busy day, right? From a pre-market perspective, right? And then we have PMI dropping here at 9:45, and then looks relatively clear after that. We got nat gas storage at 10:30. So, okay, relatively interesting. And yeah, should be a hopefully, right, a volatile session. What's the count here on ES? Let's start there. And then, yeah, go from there. So what's the count here, team? What's the count? Yeah, 3 out of 3 here to the downside, spot on. Right? And yesterday, outlier volume kind of broke out of that quote-unquote consolidation range, right? We've been seeing for the last week or so. So for sure, we could have a little bit of flexibility because we've seen a lot of evidence, right, of price action basically bouncing off of that 5,800. But that's a subplot, we'll call it, right? And the volume standard that we would need to see on a bounce off of that would need to be larger than what we saw there yesterday. Oh, geez. And I think that's going to be really challenging, right, for that to happen. And today, right, if we're going to play that bounce case, it has to be bigger green volume. So if we're going to play that bounce off of 5,800, it's not good enough if it's just an increasing volume standard. Today's open needs to be more aggressive from a bullish perspective than anything we've pretty much seen here this week, because we have a lot of kind of quote-unquote catalysts, right, besides that, say, one bounce of price action, right, 8 days ago, to suggest that it's more bearish control. So for sure, we have that scenario. It could possibly be in play, but it's not, like it's very low probability, right? From, if I'm going to be realistic here. Does that make sense? So it's not that it can't happen. I have a plan for it if it does. I just wouldn't expect it realistically. I'd give it like maybe a 15% chance, right? And maybe that's even ambitious. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Raim and Tanja. Does that make sense, team, about the bounce scenario? So although, you know, historically we shouldn't necessarily be looking for that, we have a little bit of evidence, but the standard or the burden of proof that we need to apply here today, like we're going to go legal terms, right? It's beyond a reasonable doubt. So if I have any even doubt about the quality of the bullish momentum, I'm unwilling to trade that to the upside. Whereas to the downside here, right, if I can really start to crack under that 5,800 on volume with enthusiasm, right, with that kind of like punch, then yeah, this should be pretty impressive, right? And we should be able to get some pretty decent follow through. Does that make sense? And it's quarter end, sorry, month end, right? I was going to say quarter end. It's month end. So we definitely do anticipate there to be a decent amount of volatility here today. We've got an elevated VIX hanging out 21.24. So hopefully, right, we can get some action here, right, and really take advantage of a clean move. All right. NQ. So, talked about that green box here in the past, right? Where basically dip buys, we've got more evidence of there being dip buys inside that zone versus not. If we're going to be looking at that relative to that 800 area, probably more dip buyers inside this NQ range, right? If we just go from, say, here to here, right, in like the last month or so, right? So pretty much for October in general, we've seen this zone act as an area of support in what's essentially been just like a month of consolidation, right? One up, one down, one up, one down. So maybe this is the slightly easier dip buy scenario and the slightly more challenging trend breakdown, because we don't have as clear of evidence of us basically getting separation away from that trending price action. We've identified this trend line, right, over the last, say, month and a half, acting as support, and we haven't cracked through that zone. Whereas on ES, right, we're a little bit closer towards that similar barrier. So if we lose that 5,800 area, that then becomes that trend line crack, right? So again, still a 3 for 3 here to the downside. But contextually, we could have a little bit of flexibility. And then it's the same thing, right? If you have a reasonable doubt about the quality of the bullish price action, sit it out, right? Been a great trading week, right? Been a great last even 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, right? From a trading perspective. And so we have to make sure, right, that we're not just like jumping into something because we want to keep that streak going. It's got to be perfect and unwilling to compromise. Okay, and then we're targeting like a 2,500. So if we're saying that that's the case, and we have a divergent market here this morning, are we saying that it's going to be easier for us to get a bull case on NQ or easier for us to get a bull case on ES? Yeah, NQ, easier bounce scenario, right? Because we've got more evidence of that happening. ES, right? Probably an easier setup here to the downside if we can crack through not only that psychological level, but also that trend line support, right? So that bull case is being held up by a point of confluence. And if it breaks down through that area, it's like a little bit more of a mature bearish breakdown relative to NQ. NQ needs to get down under, I mean, it could very much sell off here, right? Absolutely. But we've got a bit more evidence of bulls being in control. So maybe it gets stuck a little bit, right, if it sells off. So obviously doesn't mean it can't. Doesn't mean it won't. But if like push comes to shove, right, then probably the bear case is a little bit easier based on the information we have right now, right? So things could obviously change here as markets open and as we look at our leading names. But that's the starting point. All right. Good morning, Kenneth. All right, CL, 1 for 3 here yesterday, right? Same thing. And we're looking for a breakout over 70. Good morning, Luke. And then maybe like a dip buy off of 68. And then to the downside here, right, a rejection off of 70. And then can break down towards like 68. and then go from there. All right, sweet. So Apple has earnings today here after market close. So generally, right, probably not a day where you want to be aggressively trading this. This is a 3 for 3 here to the downside. So we'd be looking for a bear case here, but with the post-earnings trade, you're probably going to get more of the pre-earnings trade. It's more of a positioning play versus a trend-creating day, at least until we get some more information. So let's see if this thing can crack, right? Under 229, you definitely have some space lower, but one to watch versus one to trade. All right. Tesla, a little inside bar here, consolidation. I mean, you get some pretty big moves for sure, but I think people who try to play earnings with options, like they underestimate how smart market makers are, right? So it's not like market makers know what direction something is going to go, but they do know how to price their basic options contracts so that they make money regardless of which direction it goes. And people don't seem to realize that for whatever reason. So Tesla still needs to get out of this long-term range it's been stuck in post-earnings. See if that happens. Good morning, Ben. Huge gap down on Microsoft. Beat on top and bottom line. Run up before, dump post. That's pretty interesting. And this sets up, right, the size of this gap just sets up as a textbook Bollinger Band reversal here to the upside. So yesterday we had a BB reversal here to the downside. Today we've got a BB reversal here to the upside, right? And we'd expect bigger earnings, bigger volume than yesterday. Or you could expect bigger volume than yesterday, right? So that wouldn't be too ridiculous. And then if you're a bear case, you need to see bulls fail. And then break down. Generally, right, rule of thumb is big gaps tend to not get left behind. So we'll see, right? The market's like a dentist. It hates gap teeth. So it'll fill them in before it makes its move. Weird analogy. It's early. All right. Amazon. So earnings here. And again, maybe we could play like BB reversal off the trend line, right? So or, right, a breakdown under 190. So failed gap fill. And then 190 breakdown. Okay, AMD, 3 for 3 here to the downside. Not a super aggressive gap down. So you're looking for a continuation narrative here. And say under 147. So, yeah, I'll take a look here in a second, Oz. Bear with me. All right, NVIDIA, probably our weakest 3 for 3, right? So no dip buyers here. Just looking for a breakdown under 136.85. And bull case scenario would still need to be, yeah. I mean, maybe this is like kind of a pseudo trend line here. So we'll say above 144.50. Just pass on that burden, right? No need to front run that bullish price action. Okay, Meta. Big gap down post earnings, right? Run up before, sell off after. Sub 600. And so you're looking for a 583 breakdown. Or a gap fill and dump. And then again, right, post earnings, you could expect a decent volume standard, so a possible BB reversal here. Back when we traded stocks more often, right, or when there were more prop firms that were offering stock tradings, today would be a classic Bollinger Band reversal day, just like a mean reversion, overreaction move, and try to take advantage of that momentum. All right, Netflix continues to consolidate inside this range. Screams like it's like Tesla a little bit, right? Where it's stuck in that post earnings move. So it needs to break out under 748. Or, right, needs to get up and over 769. So not too much changing there in the short term. Let's see if it's got the legs. Good morning, SG. And then Google here, right? 3 for 3 here to the downside. Still got a pretty punchy gap to fill towards 171. So we're going to go NA for a bull case, right? And then bear case, look to fill the gap. And then had a request here this morning for Walmart. 83.84. So, decreasing volume, a little bit of a gap down. You kind of need to see like this kind of act as your area of support, right? So you've seen that zone behave. If you're not in this yet, I would wait for a deeper pullback and see the reaction around 80. If it loses that 80 shelf, probably no dice. But that would be the starting point here for myself. Yeah, maybe looking a little bit like a bearish expansion here. So try to be a little bit cautious and see if you can get a deeper pullback before you jump in. And then we talked about VIX, right? 21.23 here to start the morning off. So already, right, in a place where we're expecting a decent amount of volatility, largest we've seen in a while, right, since kind of the start of October. So we'll see if that actually pays us out and gives us some momentum in general, right? A lot of our leading names are giving us decent sized gap downs that are textbook Bollinger Band reversal scenarios, which sets up nicely, right, with that possible dip buy play that we're talking about here on NQ. But the volume is going to be key here this morning. That's really what I care about. If I see good momentum showing up to the downside, awesome. We're going to have plays there. If I see reversals and consistent narratives and VIX dying, right, as in decreasing, then I should get an opportunity, right, to maybe play a bounce play here and just kind of say, hey, market's been choppy, how markets behave here this morning. And then hopefully, right, we set ourselves up for a successful trading day. Any other questions here? All right, team. So I'm going to go make myself a quick cup of coffee, spend a few minutes here visualizing a successful trading day, and then we'll jump back on here and do a quick little rundown before the day starts. All right, team. So let's get ready, right, for a strong and successful trading day here. Sean, Brandon, Brad, and Norman, good morning. DTR guests, hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic day. Ready to get started. If you're in the stream here, say hello, get involved, right? Feel free to ask lots of questions. We'll do my best, right, to try to answer them as much as possible. Sean, if you got any questions about the strategy or something that doesn't make any sense, please let me know. I'm very happy to kind of walk you through some of those processes before I ever end up taking any trades. Brandon, yeah, looking forward to helping you get some more leverage in your trading so you have some more upside, right? Create that financial potential that you absolutely deserve. Brad, really similar idea here, right? If you have any questions, you need some support, you're looking for that transparency to help you scale your trading to the next level, please reach out. I'll make sure I kind of answer any of those concerns so you have all the information you need to be able to get as basically as successful as you want to be. And then Norman, yeah, man, looking forward to seeing you in here. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's make sure that we're crossing our T's, dotting our I's, and taking advantage of all the variables, right, that are available to us here today. And let's just set ourselves up for a successful day here, team. I'm looking forward to seeing what that market is going to give us. And hopefully, right, we can kind of set ourselves up for what should be a successful trading day. So early doors, we're getting that initial sell-off through that 5,800 barrier. And we're going to see, right, really good volume, right, to start the day off. We're pretty much almost closed on these initial candles. And it's pretty impressive volume. We've got some data dropping here at 9:45 this morning. So it could be a little bit more challenging, right, for us to get that early trade, right? Juan, you're asking about that yesterday, about getting some nice follow through here early. If we've got data at 9:45, probably a little bit harder for us to get that early trade. But it's a very impressive volume start here to start the session off. So we'll see basically how markets want to continue to behave here and if they do want to give us those opportunities. And then also good morning to Eric, Jeremy, Alex, Anastasia, Ivan, and Dane. Hope you're all having yourselves a great start to your trading day as well. DTR guests, right? Just want to remind you, if you're here, you're watching, you're part of the team, right? So please feel free to ask any question you possibly can. My job here is to speed up your learning curve as much as possible to help you elevate your trading to the next level and to help you kind of break through some of those bad habits that you may have learned, right, elsewhere, or trading your own capital, or just help you kind of break through some of those limiting beliefs that might be preventing you from being profitable. So if you're here for a week, a year, a month, whatever it might be, take advantage of it, right? I'm not going to ever get mad about getting asked a question. Honestly, makes my job a lot easier. So let's have ourselves an incredible trading day. And let's just keep stacking up on what has been an awesome 2-week period here for us, right? So for now, early doors from a market perspective, probably not going to get an early setup just to start the session off. So we got a little bit of time, can be a little bit patient. But yeah, let's have ourselves a great day. Any questions here, team? And if for whatever reason, if you're a guest and you can't ask a question, there's a good chance you have to subscribe to the YouTube channel to be able to use the chat, right? So just helps me avoid any bots that might show up, the OnlyFans models that pay for predatory marketing practices. So it just kind of keeps this chat to be all in one place. But yeah, if you feel like you can't answer a question for whatever reason, that's likely going to be the why. So if we do get an early trade, right, it's more likely to be on crude than it will be on our indexes, right? Just because we have that initial data dropping. Now, PMI, not historically a huge mover, right? Especially not a 945 one. But let's see. And then VIX is climbing here so far to start the day off, right? We're at 21.24 at market open. And, I mean, it's definitely higher. Yes, good volume on the second candle. Maybe this third candle can now give me increasing. Same thing with NQ. Pretty good volume. It's going to be a high volume day here by the looks of it. So let's crush. Yeah, very impressive volume. Big range. Start the day off here too, right, on NQ. 116 points. That's punchy, right? Same thing with ES. 13.5 points, right, on the 5-min. Certainly gives us an expectation of there being a decent amount of volatility here today. So let's see how things shape up. Ooh. And again, both ES and NQ kind of hovering around their psychological levels. ES now getting a decent amount of separation here higher. So at 805, NQ 295. So both are at pretty key spots. Again, we're probably going to have to wait both of these out until 9:45, right? At which point we've got Chicago PMI dropping. I don't know why I couldn't find that. And again, right, we're not going to put any pressure on ourselves to make a trade. We're not going to put any pressure on ourselves. Oh, today needs to be a $200 day. None of that kind of stuff, right? We make money when we obsess over the quality of our process. We lose money when we chase a P&L, right? So there's kind of like a paradox with investing or in trading in general. But the more that you chase money, generally the more that you lose. And so we want to make sure, right, that we're confident that we're following the rules that we've set out and created for ourselves, and we're not just like following some dopamine rush of wanting to feel successful because I made 500 bucks, right? In the grand scheme of things, it's not to say that $500 is insignificant, but for 99.9% of people, it's not life-changing, right? It's not gonna pay for your wedding or buy you that vacation or pay for the reno in your kitchen. Like it's good money, but it's not great money. So one of the things that's hard to realize sometimes in the moment as traders is that the big money comes from compounding, right? You turn green days into green weeks into green months, right? And then those green months turn into that financial freedom that you're looking for. And so it's the consistent compounding, right? Getting better 1% a day, finding that small improvement, finding those kind of easy wins that gets you to those P&L goals that you're looking for. But when you get stuck in the chop, or it's a challenging session or whatever it is, and then you try to force a trade just so you feel alive, it doesn't work, right? It does not work. So today, right, making sure that we're obsessing over the quality of our decisions, because if the quality of our decisions are where they need to be, then the P&L will take care of itself, right? And sometimes the best decision is not placing a trade. Sometimes the best decision, right, is taking a trade. Sometimes the best decision is cutting one early, right? And ultimately, it's about obsessing over protecting that mental capital so that we have the bandwidth to be able to be fresh, right, and beat the market and remain in control. So when we start to put ourselves in situations where we basically give the market control over our mood, then we kind of give up our ability to get the outcome that we're looking for. And we've all seen a variation of that, right, in our own trading. It's happened to every single trader where they subconsciously make a decision that, hey, I need to get lucky to be profitable here. And once you do that, the market is ruthless in taking your money. So we're not going to give it that power, right? We're going to be proactive, not reactive here. And the more proactive we can be in our decision making, easier it is for us to be green. So big open, slow since then. So we got 4 minutes, right, till data dropping. We just keep hovering right around 800 on ES, a little bit under 300 on NQ. Yep. Market will be open. How tradable that day will be another story, but markets will be open. It'll be post, so it'll be the 5th, right? I think the election's on the 4th, right? So it'll be on the 5th where things get wild, or the day following. So CL kind of giving us that fake out setup, right? So here's your bearish confirmation. Here's bulls attempting to fail. Here's your fake out back up above. And then now it's breaking down. So this could potentially be in play here. And that's pretty big stop loss, probably more than I'd like. Right, 43 to 27 is a little bit much, right? 16 cents. Not a math guy. So that's $160 a contract, right? Which is a bit punchy. On crude, I want to be trading, 5 or 6 contracts, right? Kind of as a minimum. So we got 20 seconds till data drops. Let's see this reaction. Not a tremendous amount of enthusiasm since that opening candle. So again, right, be pretty patient. And let's look at this algo reaction, right? See how aggressive it is or not aggressive. It's pretty aggressive. So now we want to see volume show up, right? And break down through these lows. Doesn't, okay, not that appealing. So See if this 3-minute candle can close above outlier here. NQ, definitely more volume, right? Better volume pace. Oh, this might be the easier breakdown scenario here at this point. So, $1.44 to go. Lots of time still. Lots of time. ES has a chance, but it's got some work to do before the volume is outlier. It's increasing, but not outlier here yet. And we'll see if it's got the juice. I don't, Joe. I rely on basically my opening range logic here. So this is the strategy that I use. And then I use candlesticks and volume as my indications of basically market momentum. I don't find RSI to be particularly useful for my trading. I don't like indicators that are basically lagging indicators and ones that are an interpretation of price action. So I would rather just study price and volume instead of studying a study of price and volume. All right, so definitely going to be focusing here on NQ. ES as well could be in play here. Maybe this is the slightly easier bear setup at this point. So 20 seconds to go. And we're going to judge which candle ends up being stronger on the close, right? So right now, looks like ES probably the stronger candle. Okay, NQ now catching up. Okay, so gonna be focusing on NQ here. Let's see if this thing can find some support. Stop loss as is would have to be at 22650. So be patient here, right? There's no rush. Set everything up, right? So stop loss 226.50. And as is, right? This would be a one contract play. Okay, so looking for a gentle little pullback here. Come on. So gentle little pullback. Come on. And if it doesn't give me this look here on the 3, I just reset to the 5, right? And I have this exact same setup with a slightly larger risk-reward profile. So if I miss this, no big deal, right? Really no big deal. Okay, so now I'm going to focus on this 5. Didn't quite pull the trigger maybe when I needed to have. And let's see how this thing behaves. Okay. So again, this would be the aggressive entry technique here this morning. Right? Stop loss, 1. See where this thing finds support. 191.50 at the moment. So setting it up again, right? Okay, and we're looking for a tick-by-tick pullback here. So starting to look good. All right, guys, I am in average price 172. And it's, sorry, one contract here. It's not great early reaction. But let's see if this thing can break down and start giving me some separation here to the downside. Okay, we survived kind of worst case scenario here, so let's see. It's one contract. I'm risking about $400 here. Okay, so let's see if it can give me some follow through, right? And start to flush and make lower lows. Nice entry, Mike. Great entry. Come on, break down. Nice work, Cordell. Guys are making me jealous with your entries. Well done. And let's see if it's got the legs here. Let's see if it's got the legs. It's making me work for my money here. Come on, come on. I believe in you, NQ. Nice work, Tim. Great entry, Sook. So far, so good here. So far, so good. We'd like to get that next, like, flush, right? Here we go. See if it can start to break. Ooh. Might have jinxed it. Come on. This thing can close under 160. We're in good shape. A continual choppy close. I'm going to be less enthusiastic here. Come on. Okay, come on. Sell off, sell off, sell off. Just hanging out right at the entry price, right? It's just a little bit annoying. That was a bigger bounce than I maybe would have wanted. Come on. Ooh. We're surviving, but not thriving. That was close. It's got to die here. Okay, I got stopped out on that. It's mean. That's really mean. What do you mean? How's it a huge L? Oz, how'd that happen? Risk was $400, man. It was one contract. How is that a huge L? Please explain that, man. Please explain that. So yeah, frustrating little fake out. So then trade micros, dude. Right? If you're not thinking about your risk management and being selfish there, what are you doing? Right? If you have a risk tolerance that exceeds that number, don't take that trade or trade micros. But it's got to be, honestly, one of those situations where you're being very selfish about your risk management. If a $400 loss sets you off on edge, dude, you don't stand a chance, right? That cannot be the case. That cannot be the case. Because sometimes trades are going to take more than one opportunity to give us that move, right? So if we size our positions or we make our risk management personal, there is no surviving in this game. It's all we talk about, right? So again, this thing is setting back up. Stop loss would have to be 171. Right? We have to understand, team, that the most important thing is your ability to manage your risk. If you're not going to take accountability for that, it doesn't matter how many trades I win, right? It really doesn't. So again, here I have another opportunity, right, on NQ. Let's see if it can behave the right way here this time. Yeah, we got faked out there by 10 points. And that's okay, it happens. Not the end of the world. So now we have another opportunity here. We're very comfortably one trade away, right? Very comfortably. So starting to look for an entry here again. So I can see a little bit more of a pullback. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Just a little bit more. I need like a 47. Okay, so watching close here. All right, boom. I am in. Average price 21.52. Stop loss at 21.71.50. One contract. Okay, so let's see if it's got the legs here. Remember, guys, right? The market only feels personal if we start to size our positions where it makes it inevitable to feel so. Stop loss is high of my entry candle here, Joe. So it's this red line, right? So if my entry candle is this one here, I'm using what's called the aggressive entry technique, or what I call the aggressive entry technique. And so when I do that, then my stop loss is the high of my entry candle. So guys, we have to be incredibly selfish about our position sizing, right? If we don't like how minis make us feel, you can trade micros. If you don't like how micros make you feel, then you can avoid the trade. But we're going to lose. We're going to lose a lot as traders. So if we make each loss feel personal, we will not ever make any money, right? So the point with my position sizing is I can take 6 losing trades in a row before I hit my max loss number. Right? Obviously, I don't want that to happen. That would be worst case scenario. But that gives me so much margin for error, right? So if we're not baking in that margin for error with our decision-making processes, you're screwed. Right? Literally the only thing that matters. Because if you don't manage your risk when you lose, you cannot out-earn your risk management. And if your risk makes you feel bitter, broken, cheated, whatever it might be, then you're always going to look for revenge from the market. And when you start to look for revenge from the market, it's just gonna clap you back, right? So we just cannot behave that way. Just cannot. It's the one thing I harp about more than anything else, right? Is that risk management, is managing those losers, because losers happen. They are inevitable. So if we trade as if a loss won't hurt us, then we can stomach that pain a lot more. But if we're going to let our greed make us size our positions that are bigger than they should be, and we're going to chase plays just because I'm in a trade, you're never going to out-earn that habit. Never. So we all lose, right? My win rate on the year is 64%. So 1 out of 3 trades is a loss, right? So if I make each one of those trades feel personal, then I'm not going to put myself in a situation where that next one I can recover from, right? And be a logical human being again. So I'm sorry to go off on a rant here, Rico. But dude, it's the most important thing, right? If a $400 loss feels too big for your one account, you should not be trading minis. You should be trading micros. And to be honest, man, you know better by now, right? You know better by now. Okay, so I got stopped out of this thing again. Took a $395 loss. Again, a few fake outs here. Maybe this is a little bit of deja vu, right, to this 955 here. Again, guys, right? On the day here right now, down less than 800 bucks. So I'm one trade away, right, from being green on the session. So if we're going to ignore that risk, you will be left behind. Just guaranteed. Okay, and those are my first 2 losing trades of the week, which obviously sucks, right? But it doesn't ruin anything. So don't make it personal. Don't trade as if this one has to be the one that gets you your goal. It's the fastest way to lose. And if you're trading when you're too willing to make operational mistakes, then again, right, you're also going to set yourself up for failure. So paper trade. Get those kinks out of the way, right? Practice your executions. Practice canceling orders. Practice doing all those things. Don't give yourself excuses. We've talked about this before, right? But good risk management is proactive, not reactive. The only way for us to be proactive is to think about our position sizing before we ever get into a play. It's why I share my contract sizing with you all, so you're not left in the dark. And then you can also contextually add clues, right? So if I'm trading a 150K account and I'm saying my max loss should be 500 bucks, and you're trading with 3x more risk than that on your account, good luck. Right? So the commitment we all have to make with ourselves and then hopefully I can keep you accountable to that, is to size our trades, to be responsible with our risk manager, so that when we take a hit, we're still one trade away, right, from new all-time highs in our portfolio. And if we're going to skip those steps, doesn't matter, right, what I say. Doesn't matter how often I win. It literally won't make a difference. I mean, this just feels like deja vu to this previous trade here. Again, I'd be willing to take another stab at this to the downside. 168 stop loss. It needs a decent pullback here, right? Because right now, an entry here, I'd be risking 730 bucks, which is too much, right? So I need to see this pull back into being less than $500. Right? Which would be like a 42, 42.50, 43 entry, right? So a 9-point pullback, maybe not in play. So again, don't overestimate your ability to get lucky. Do everything as if the worst case scenario is going to happen, and being okay with surviving your worst case scenario. I can't stand those self-inflicted gunshot wounds, because that's literally all they are, right? They are just avoidable by reining in our greed. It's what we talk about every single day, right? We got to be better. Have to be better. I will not tolerate it. Is that fair? Maybe I could do this, right? Stop loss at 42. And here I could buy 2 contracts, right? Potentially. And still be within my max loss number. Let's see where this thing finds support. Yeah, potentially. Now it'd be 46. So I'd probably be more likely to 1 contract. I mean, it's still within business here. Let's see how this candle closes and if it behaves nicely. Again, we have this possibly setting up on the 5-minute again. It's just deja vu to that previous trade. That's frustrating. Okay, so possibly aggressive entry, sorry, pullback technique here. So 68. Let's see how it finds support. Okay, good reaction there. Very good reaction. So this would be a 1 contract play. Okay, so still watching here. Still watching. Still watching. No, going short here, Eric. Going short. We've got a downside continuation day here so far, right? So we're still looking for that downside scenario. So still looking for shorts. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. You can always kind of tell based on my screen. So my red line would be where my stop loss would be. White line would be my profit target. Okay, so far, I mean, this is now telling me I can't go short, right? Maybe telling me possible reversal scenario at this point. We got Nat Gas at 10:30. I don't know if that's a game changer. Bit frustrating to get faked out twice. But unfortunately, the name of the game sometimes. See if this thing can get back over 22. I'm not sure if I necessarily need that to go long here. Stop loss would have to be low of day if you're going to go short. Now, 50 points for a stop loss, too big. Right? Far too big. So we need this to be the aggressive technique. Okay, so now watching long. As is. Let's see where this thing finds support. Have to be the aggressive technique. Otherwise, you just can't get the position sizing, right? So pull back here under 76. If I have to risk 60 points for me to be green, I'm risking $1,200 a contract, right? It's too much. So that would be unrealistic of an expectation. Whereas here, right, if I can get an entry around 96, I'm risking 22 points. 22 times 20, right? Very much in play. So stop here, 174. And again, it'd be 1 contract here. And we're looking for a breakout above, right, that confirmation candle high, and then a slow pullback into this area. So watching here very carefully. All right, I'm going to start to look for an entry here, team. Needs to be under $500 of risk. Come on, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Not yet. Too fast. Too fast on that pullback. Not yet. And this doesn't give me a look here on the 3. I could just play this on the 5. It's not a big deal. All right, same setup essentially. Okay, so watching here again. So I could still trade this here, I think, on the 3-min. Might be able to go tighter risk reward here potentially, right? If this thing can now break out above. Again, still needs to get over that 196.50. And then a gentle pullback. 196.50 would be 14 points. Yeah, and that's what we're looking for here, Eric. Spot on. So we're looking for that reversal here to the upside. Good morning, Constantine. So now stop loss would be 181. Let's see if they can hold that support. And we're looking for a pop above 196 and then a gentle pullback back into that area. 15 points of risk would still be one contract, right? Unfortunately. Okay, so now 179.75. We still have not gotten that correct elevator up, stairs down, right? Still not gotten that reaction here. Just be patient, right? Be patient. Okay. It's a good size pop. So now watching here closely again. Stop loss, like I said, 179.75. Okay, starting to look, guys. Starting to look here. All right. I am in 191.75. 191.75. Again, one contract, right? One contract. And let's see if this thing can give me some immediate separation here to the upside, right? The longer it takes, the worse it feels. Come on, you got it. And stopped out again for a $273 loss. This thing is fake out city this morning. So now we can possibly try this again on the 10-min. And let's see if we can get over 200. I just keep getting faked out this morning. It's very frustrating. So now I'm down about $1,000 on the day, still within one trade. And just a little bit annoyed with the fake outs so far, right? They're frustrating. $117. It's still too big. Crew doing huge fake out on prior to nat gas. Interesting. Okay, so maybe the only other potential here for a reversal would be stop loss at low of day. That might be a little bit challenging to trust. You have to get an entry like 42.25 or lower. It's definitely within striking distance. Okay, so watching here still. Come on. And just buy yourself time. See if this thing can flush even closer towards low of day. You can get entry timing to really bail you out here. The other element of paranoia here is just fake out city so far, right? So fake outs in both directions to a certain extent. So let's see. We got nat gas dropping at 10:30. I don't anticipate that being a huge mover. But always something to be aware of. So we're within 6 points here now of the potential entry zone. Not enough reason to yet pull the trigger. But we want to start to see bulls defend these lows, right? So we want to see bulls defend basically this area here. And then just for reference point, right? Getting back to this current candle's high puts you green on the day, right? So it just shows how small of a move you need to actually make money here still. So don't rush it, right? Don't rush it. I'm going to wait this 30 seconds for this data to drop here at 10:30. So 15 seconds here. Okay, so be careful, being patient. I want to try to buy as close to that stop loss as possible and buy myself time for this reaction, right? So if it flushes through, ES breaking down here a little bit. So if it flushes through, right, I can avoid another mistake. If it finds support, then I can get more positions, right, and make it easy for myself to get bailed out. That's a good reaction. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Just a little bit pull back. You can do it. I might have just, honestly, just missed it. Okay, still watching here, still watching. Need to get like low 140s. All right, there it is. So I am back in here, 21.41, one contract. Come on, do it, do it, do it. Finally, Mike. Finally, I beat ya. Let's see. It's got to bounce here pretty quick. I'll just take my paper cut. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Again, not perfect entry on this, but let's see if it's got the legs. Again, a little bit early on my entry. Could have gotten a deeper pullback and gotten two contracts, which is frustrating. That's the way it goes. So now let's see this thing blast up higher here, right? And just make this a non-stressful trade. Come on. Trying to be objective here. Probably not the correct reaction post-entry. That's better. Can't seem to get over that 141, right? We keep getting close and then not up and over. This is annoying. Seven. Keeps bouncing, touching 138 or 139, and then coming back down. It's a big bounce. But I'm worried about that reaction. So I'm worried about that reaction because when it bounces, it's like it's hitting a wall. So I'd like to see it basically clear through that ceiling, right? Again, 138 touch and then a little rejection. So let's see if we gobbled up all the sellers there. Come on, NQ. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Hunting here. It's hunting. Come on. Come on. You can do it here. Stop never cross the spread, Joey, which is why I'm still in this position. So let's see if it can fly. Again, if you survive your worst case scenario, maybe you have a chance. thinking about closing this. Either trying to get a better entry, because this 41 not been a perfect entry. Come on. Come on, come on. Trying to be objective here, right? So obviously entry timing not perfect, but Bears haven't won this either, right? At least not obviously. Maybe I just cursed it. It's like a little bit of a reversal signal. Did not cross the spread, John. Did not cross the spread. So the spread on NQ is about 2.5 points. I might get stopped here in a second. A little bit stuck. Just a little bit stuck. Now, $200. Time of day probably suggests mean reversion. Price action suggests it's not moving the way I want. All right, there's my stop loss. Oy vey. What the heck's going on here today? Man, these freaking fake outs. All right. Huh. Ain't that the truth? It's a trick and not treat today. Okay. So can I get a breakdown through low of day on some volume? Or is it just going to keep faking out, faking out, faking out? Interesting. Crude's maybe giving us a look. I mean, there's no setup on ES-SUC. So for now, NQ seems to be the better opportunity. Just does not want to give me I want to be gentle here. Okay. VIX is at 2250, still climbing. Everything dumping. So probably being told we still have some downside potential here. 3 min set up to maybe towards 20,000. And this would be the final shot. Hasn't made a lower low yet. I think so. Okay, so one final look here. $21.07 would have to be the stop. Call it 107.50. We're looking for elevator down, stairs up, targeting 20,000. Okay, so looking for stairs up here. Gentle pullback. Gentle, gentle. $94 would be 2 contracts. Anything below 94 would be 1. So now most likely to be 1 contract here. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. And I'm trying to really put all my energy here into entry timing being correct, right? So far on the trades that we've taken here so far today, we've gotten like a little bit of a move and then a shakeout, right? So I want to avoid that anxiety as much as possible. If this thing, I mean, maybe I could now do this, right? On the 5-min stop loss, 98.50. That would allow me to have better risk management here potentially. Come on. Come on. Okay, watching really closely here. Watching really closely. Stop loss 98.50. Gosh, I'm trying so hard here. Come on. An entry's got to be above 75.50, right? Has to be above. Has to. Otherwise, the risk reward is not justified. Again, the deeper pullback I buy, the better off I'll be. Come on. Come on. Let's touch that 81 a couple times. So that might end up being the ideal entry price here at this point. Come on. Gentle pullback here. Gentle, gentle. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Come on. Wouldn't say that this has been gentle yet, but this is 2 contract territory. Nope. Be patient. Nope. Right? Nope. Okay, better. Again, 98.50, right? 98.50. That's what we're watching here. Just be patient, right? We haven't missed the move yet. Great entry, Mike, but be patient here, man. Be a little bit patient. Still a lower low, still a lower high. 88.50. So close. Come on. Still not the right reaction here. Still not the right reaction. Come on, come on. Get stuffed. Okay, starting to look here. Come on. Come on. All right, guys. I am in 89.75. This is tight. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Bleed for me, NQ. Come on. Again, feel less confident about my entry because it's not green right away. Come on, come on. Come on, break down under 80 here. Come on, you could do it. You could do it. I know you want to. Come on. Yeah, it's been the market's been waiting for this kind of volatility range here a little bit, Jen. So maybe it's just punishing us for being a little bit excitable, maybe. Again, we've kept the risk low. We've been well within our risk parameters. We haven't done too much damage relative to the week we've had. So it's unfortunately a part of the game here. Come on, bleed out. Come on. Feels like it's so close to flushing. I'm so paranoid of that fake out and then flush. It's like dating a girl named Stephanie and then the next girl you meet's also named Stephanie. You're like, oh no. What's going on? Okay, see if we can start to move here. Come on. You could do it, NQ. You could do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, oh no, like why am I putting myself through this again? just a little bit here. So close. Again, feel much better about this entry now, for sure. But I still haven't gotten that separation, right? So, okay, this is 400 bucks here. We're definitely recovering a little bit, but want to see that flush. Here we go. So that's 700. Come on, you can do this, NQ. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And this might just be one of those risk management masterclass days here, unfortunately. Every now and then, the market makes us want to feel like we actually have to work for a living. So, okay, 900 bucks, $70 away from a green day. Come on, here we go. Come on, flush, flush, flush. You're treating me nicely here now. Come on, Stephanie. That is mean. You can just feel the key there. I mean, today I am, Mike. Today I am. Oh, that's a disgusting little pullback. Come on. It is so hard to trust this right now. Plus 500. Break down, you gun. $630, 700. Come on. So close. Big thing, right? You buy the deeper pullback, you can get bigger position sizing, and you need a much smaller move, right, to get back to break even. So, to be honest with you guys, very proud of being patient after a very challenging start to the day, right? Trusting that risk management, trusting those pullbacks. It's not been easy. It has not been easy. Okay, hold under 60 here, and we're in good shape. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's 11:04. Come on, you can do it. It's increasing volume. I can't do a pyramid here. It's not an outlier. So plan here, right? Kind of debating between one of two options. Either close one contract, right? Make sure that I lock in 50% of the gains to be able to run this thing. Or two, right? Sell it on the next flush that happens. I'm leaning more towards the flush option. And have to be a substantial one, right? Like this hasn't been enough here yet. It needs to be like through 50. Come on, do it. Oh, so close. 57. Come on. I'm definitely not letting this trade go red, right? So whatever happens here, team, stop loss is going to be high of this current candle. So approximately 75. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, this is dirty. That was mean. That was so mean. So I'm out of this. Filled at 76.25. Ah! That was torture. Frustrating, frustrating, frustrating for sure. Oh, so close to breaking us down there through that 50. 7 points. That's just mean. Yeah, another reversal setup. Second one here of the day. Would need to hold above 21. Okay, so do I have the courage here? That's the question. I felt so close. So do I have the courage? 105. That's a good close. Well, maybe not so much. 97 all of a sudden. Closed right at 21. Interesting. Where's NQ better? No, it's not. Or ES better, sorry. No, it's not. So I'm down about 700 bucks on the day here. 699.02. I feel like there's still some potential volatility left. I don't know if I want to take another hit. I feel like I'm trading crazy pills. $31 points to low day. So 1 for 3. Sorry, 1 for 4. Down 600, 700 bucks. It's not terrible. Feel a little bit unlucky. But that's just my ego. $800. Excuse me. Who's still with me here? Anyone still watching? Nice work, Cordell. I'm tempted about one more possible look here. I am, because I see this reversal set up. The risk reward is exceptional. Do I think I'm going to get to 252? Probably not. Yeah, fair enough, Jeff. Fair enough. Oh, inside breezy here. Right here. All right. Same as that reversal candle at 1010. Just watching for the fake out, really. Relatively late in the morning, right? Extended price action here to the downside. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's telling us, right? It's a high volume reversal at low of day. So failed bearish breakdown. Right, and then prints a reversal candle. But I'm trying to just buy myself a lot of time here, right? Because we've seen fake out, fake out, fake out, fake out. So same thing like that breakdown trade we had. Entry timing here is going to create that margin for error. As is, 2 contracts, I'm risking $350. But I'm not convinced that this 250 or 2050 is going to hold yet. Better. Should have closed when I was up 1,000. Not on the day, but on that last trade. shorter time frames. Decrease in volume. So what it is, Juan, right? It's two back-to-back. Whoa. It's two back-to-back bearish breakdowns, right? Failed bearish breakdowns, and then a high volume reversal from bulls. It's quite the algo move. Oh, it's cruel. Okay. Did not have courage to pull the trigger at that 64. But that was a violent bounce. Violent. Okay, come on. You can do it. So mean. I've been green on the day here all of a sudden. Okay, so again, a gentle pullback. We've definitely seen an elevator up here. So a gentle pullback back into that 60 range would be appealing. I really have my limit price is 62. Oh. By the chinny chin chin there. Alright, come on, come on. So gentle into that area here again, right, would be appealing. That was a violent bounce, right? That was violent. Come on. So for now, it'd be one contract, right? For now, it'd be one contract. If we get a deeper pullback, maybe two, or if we can get a tighter risk somewhere else. So maybe 3 min here. Okay, close up above 100. Come on. Okay, it's a good close. So 94.50 stop loss, 94.50. Great entry, Mike. Nice work, man. So 94.50, targeting high a day. Can't get the setup. Guys, see elevator up here first. Okay. So now look in here. Come on, pull back just a little bit. Just a little bit. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on. All right, guys, I'm in at 106. 106. Let's see if it can go. Oh, man. Working man's day here today. I need Trump to endorse the coal miners of day trading today. Come on. A good initial entry, right? Pretty good initial entry here. But let's get more separation. Mike, if you're in this, you're in great shape. So think about starting to protect yourself, right? Protect your risk. Don't let this trade go red. Probably sets you up already to be green on the day. So make sure, right, you're taking that. And not getting greedy. Come on, you can do it, NQ. I believe in you. It's 220. Come on. 300. Come on. Decreasing volume on that post-entry candle. Not perfect. Do it. Don't do it. Aye, vey. All right. This is mean. Mean machine today. Mean machine. All right, guys. I'm not going to place any further trades. So close today. One of those super frustrating sessions. If this is going to be another fake out, which it looks like it might be. Nice work, Cordell. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely going to go here now. Ah, the pain. Can I stick with this just for another second? A little shake out and go again, right? Theme of the day. Yeah, brought that baggage in today, Mike. Sorry. She's mean today. 84.50. Do I have it? Oh. A lot of work to give back at Days of Gains today. A lot of work. The only last thing that could be setting up here is that little fake out entry. But to say I'm skeptical is aggressive. Yeah, it's just quarter end selling. Or sorry, month end. I always call it quarter end. Little inside bar. Again, this... I feel like it's not dead. But timing is really hard today. Ah. That's elevator. So could that 93 hold potentially? Nope. $85 stop. Have to be 84. I don't think I have the courage for this. Yeah, you can, Oz, for sure. If you have a set take profit, I would do it. I wouldn't just let it hang out there and like walk away. But yeah, you can for sure do it. So what we would need for the fake out entry, right, is for a green candle to show back up. I think pretty tired of getting chopped out. So all things considered, to be down $1,000 on the day. I've done and had worse. This volatility is hard to walk away from. 23 on the VIX. 69 on CL. My ego is telling me to trade. I don't know if my system is telling me to trade now, though. And you have that fake out. Not quite a fake out here yet on the 10. 58. $77. Feels torturously close. Maybe the move is crude. It's a pretty good stop loss, 8 cents. Is at least a better, maybe a cleaner setup. Broke out above high day, increasing outlier volume. Angel devil on my shoulder. Angel and devil on my shoulder here. This here would be your entry. I don't think I have the courage. I could do this. Stop loss then would be 11 cents or 10 cents. So 5 contracts at 61. So 2 things I'm fighting with a little bit, right? Okay, I think I do have a legitimate setup here on CL. I am red on the day. I don't want to let the winning streak end. So I'm trying to weigh the pros and cons, right? How much do I trust my system? How much do I bash my head against the wall and hope that this time is different? This is a good reaction objectively. 64. How you guys feeling? Yeah, I hear that. I don't know if I would be interested in indexes at this point. They're more setting up here to the downside and continuing to hang out. This is right on the cusp. All right, let's see if it can give me a little pullback here still. Under 60. Be 5 contracts. Seven contracts if I can get a 58 or lower. Put my max loss here in the day to be $1,500. Ever play poker and get pocket jacks and then all the action around you is raising up? You're like, oh boy, what do I do here with pocket jacks? Okay. A little inside breezy. Come on, give me a nice little pull. Come on, come on, come on. $41. In overtime, that's for sure today. Okay, so watching here. Slow. Come on. I'm looking at this 58. Looking at 58 here on crude. And 58 would be 5 contracts, sorry, 8 contracts. Sorry, Oh no, so it'd be 7 contracts. $11.43. Ah, come on. Again, those red days where you're like one trade away from being green. You keep your risk management good, you're always in play, but it's that feeling of hope that can be sometimes a little bit dangerous. And yeah, Joe, spot on, right? In this case, we took 14 steps forward, 1 step back. Probably 2 steps back today. Because average win's been like $800. Okay, so gentle pullback into 58 is what I want. Oh, I might have just missed it again, though. That would have been $700. Ugh. Then the other alternative, right, would be the aggressive entry technique on a breakout above 76 and then a pullback into 72. I do feel like I just hesitated on this pullback. Let the baggage get to me. Again, high vol breakout, hold above previous high a day. This is tough. Dawn, are you in here? Oh, here we go. Maybe I have the chance. So we have a call right at 12. If we get Stobisky, sorry, not Dawn Roulette. We have a call at 12, right? So if we get a trade here, might end up being just a little bit delayed, right? Just FYI. Getting a little inside bar. So we're going to wait for this candle to close. Again, timing is very important here. Timing is very important. Nice work, Oz. Hey, win's a win. Ramen's on you. Deal. Only onions. That's what the market's making us feel today. Onions, extra pickles. Nice work, Don. It's a great rip. You should still be proud of yourself, Rico. Absolutely could. I mean, Nvidia doesn't seem to be reacting to the news. Come on. 67. And it hit that 58 pretty violently. I don't know if I wasn't like ready for it. So that's a 71. Oh, man. $0.10 feels like the world here. Yeah, I'm just gonna watch it for another couple minutes here, but we're getting close to that that opportunity. Still have that possible aggressive entry on the 15. The volatility's still here, so it's like hard to call it when this is like a bit of an outlier day here. Okay. So again, watching here closely. Stop loss 51. Come on. Come on. patient here. Be patient. This move lower is happening faster than you'd want. Yeah, avoid. Like the plague. Oh, now it's just giving a reversal signal. What does the market want from me today? Can we say this is a fake out around 70? Yes. For sure. Filled the gap. Okay. Stuff that 2R, big sell-off. Yeah, fair enough, Jen. Happy Halloween. Still right on the cusp here. So I don't, still have volatility, so it's hard to walk away. Stop loss have to be 49 here on the short. Maybe 5 contracts. And guys, I'm in at 40. If it doesn't move quick, I'm just going to stop myself out. If it does sustain that follow through here, take the little win. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Gotta move faster than this. Here we go. Gotta move faster. Come on. Come on, you can do it. my gut telling me here? Tell me I don't like that. I think I'm wrong. Come on, 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 come on. Come on, come on, come on. Always stop loss plus spread, by the way, team, right? I'm just debating taking this. Has not been moving fast enough. 200. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Gotta die here. Gotta die here. Close under 40. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you, CL. So guys, stop loss always needs to be stopped plus the spread, right? So you want to get stopped when it fills on the bid, not on the ask. Should be a video in the Discord explaining that exact technique. Just bear with me here for a second. I'm trying to maybe find an exit. Come on, come on, come on. I'll post that video in here in a sec. 1 minute. So that's the video I'm talking about here. So give that a watch. It's 250. Do I just take this and run? Increasing volume, lower low, lower high. $12.06. Come on, a little bit more. Breakdown through 30. You can do it, CL. You can do it. $34, 300. $350. Come on. I hated that bounce. All right, guys, I'm gonna look to close this if I can. I'm trying to get under 35. Come on, just a little bit more. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Give me a little flush. Okay, here we go. 8 cents. Come on, it's 400. Oh man, this is just enough of a tease. So close. Green by a smidge. Not on the day, but on this trade, right? Which is just enough to give you hope. All right. $34, $33. Just get under 30. Come on. 30 should be a flush. 31. Come on. It's a fight. It's a fight psychologically as much as it is technically. $12.10. All right, guys. I am out of this. I am out of this. Closed at 38. Took the $100 win. Shaking my head here a little bit. Shaking my head here a little bit. All right, guys, I'm done. Any questions? Freaking annoying day. Yeah, challenging day for sure. Very challenging day. Down about $1,000. So not easy. Not the end of the world, but a challenging day. Oh, that's such high hopes for today. Such high hopes. Oh, I didn't update this yesterday. Well, no, it is the real stop, Constantine, right? But you want it, if you're selling, you want it to cross the spread on the sell, not the buy, right? At least for myself personally. So if I'm going to get stopped out, I want to make sure that it is crossed above, not just touched. Right? Or crossed below, not just touched. So it is the real stop, right? Because that's the price you set as your bid price. But the bid is going to be below, right, the ask. Of course, now it's going to break down. Oh, you got to be kidding me. So now it would have been a profitable day on CL, right? Like this is mean. This is mean. Hey, Cordell, don't apologize, man. Don't apologize at all. You should be proud. Nice work, Suresh. Great job, guys. I mean, realistically, the risk reward was set up to be 66.78. Maybe think about if you can't close under this low of day, that'd probably be a reason to get out. If you can close under a low of day, then a move towards 69 and then 68.78 would certainly be reasonable. No, I mean, Cordell, like it happens, right? We're going to have green days. We're going to have red days. I'm going to have green days when you guys have red days. You're going to have green days when I have red days. So it is what it is, right? It's a part of the game. The annoying thing from my perspective here is I got faked out twice. Probably drained a bit of mental capital on those fake outs. And then missed trades, right? That would have put me green on the day and kept the win streak going. So that's kind of the annoying part from my end. The actual loss itself, okay, $1,000. It's not really a big deal. Like in the last, what's that? 9 trading sessions. I'm still up almost 11K per account. So, okay, it happens. Frustrating, but it happens. And I'm certainly not going to compound that. Yeah, and second longest win streak of the year. First red day in 2 weeks. Like, I'm fine, right? Kept my risk management good, kept my position sizing responsible. So I didn't do anything stupid, right? So every now and then you're going to lose. Every now and then you're going to win. If you follow your rules, you follow your technique, you're going to win more often than you lose. And that's all it is, right? And on the losses that we took here today, none of them were a max loss. All of them were under 500 bucks. So you make it easy on yourself, right? And realistically, we're one trade away from making that all back. So even though today didn't get a tremendous amount to follow through, couldn't quite find my edge, I'm not in bad shape, right? So annoying, yes. Really annoying. Would have been up 200 bucks on the day here now, maybe a bit more, right? If I held on to CL. But hey, is what it is. It's the best loser that wins. And hyper zooming in on my day-to-day P&L and allowing that to impact basically how I feel. And to now get me to break my rules or do something different or whatever. Not cool, right? That's what gets you in trouble. So you can survive losses. You can survive plenty of them and still be within good shape in your account. But it's when you make those losses feel personal. And that's easier said than done. But when you make them feel personal, you get in really bad shape. And so don't make it personal. Don't revenge trade. We trade our system. Sometimes you're not going to get faked out. Sometimes you do. Funny to a certain extent when you had that quote-unquote trend day here. You get more fake outs. When we had that choppy price action, we weren't getting faked out. So it's just a paradox sometimes. Well, it's just realizing, Cordell, that every time I take losing trades and I try to revenge trade them and make them back right away, oh, I get stopped out short, so let me go long and make it all back because my idea short was wrong. I just double lose, right? So that's not worth it. It's not fun. Do I wish I, could do better? For sure. I wish every day was a green day, but that's not the reality. So even today, okay, for those of you who are still in this crew trade, this candle needs to hold under low of day, right? So it needs to hold under 69.16. If it can't, get out, take your profits and run. But it's going to happen, right? These days are going to happen. That's incorrect. Oh, whoops. It's okay, right? Like 80 losses on the year. That's a lot of days losing. That's a lot of losing trades. So if I make each one of those losses feel personal, or as if, hey, the market is rigged, or this or that, or this or that, I'm never going to get off that roller coaster, right? So at some point, eventually, you have to decide that you're going to play and live the probabilities. And essentially realize that, hey, I'm playing a long-term game. I'm not playing the short-term variance. I'm never going to get what I want. I'm never going to feel like I've accomplished all my objectives from one single trading day. So I can't let one trading day then, right? If that's the reality, then I can't let one trading day basically destroy all of my ambitions either, right? So yes, crappy day. I wish I could have put on a better performance because there was a lot of money to be made here today. And kind of fumbled the bag to a certain extent. But from the grand scheme of things, gave back 10% of my P&L from the last 10 days. So if that's what a worst case scenario session is, right? If that's the worst thing that I will do to myself when days go wrong, I'm going to be just fine, right? Playing my game of probabilities. So I'm not trying to, it's going to sound ridiculous, but I'm not trying to win big. I'm trying to focus on losing small so that I remain in control and I don't get that like out of body decision making process, right? We've all been there. We get on tilt, we start to do things that we know we shouldn't do, and we end up like getting broken by the market, and it never works out, right? So yeah, I wish today was better, but I've been trading for a decade now. I couldn't even count how many red days I've had, right? If my win rate on the year is like, say, 60%, okay, that's rounding down, and there's 220 trading days in a year, right? That means I'm going to have 60 red days, right? Again, rounding down. So if one of 3 days are red, man, this hurts to see. But if one of 3 days are red, and I make each one of those feel personal, if I make each one of those experiences feel like I'm a failure, that I'm not good enough, that I don't have the skills, that I don't have whatever, then all that ends up becoming is a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So you choose how you want the market to make you feel, and the market never makes those feelings more obvious to you than when you have a red day. So, okay, today got my butt kicked a little bit. Win rate definitely not where it needed to have been. You know, mental capital got drained to the point where I couldn't hold on to what would have been a big winning day. So those are things to learn from, right? Instead of then focusing on my P&L, it's asking myself, okay, why didn't I have the courage, right, to keep trusting my system even though I dealt with short-term variance, right? Why didn't I have the courage to cut trades that felt like they were losers early instead of being willing to take a loss? And I'll spend some time here this afternoon, right, evaluating that. I'll go for a pretty big run some stairs, right, no music, and just basically listen to those thoughts, pound out basically those negative emotions, right, on the steps. And I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to get better. And I'm going to commit to myself that, hey, one day doesn't define you. One day doesn't make you. One day doesn't break you. So I have to make sure that my actions match those beliefs. And not every day is going to be pretty. Not every day is going to be incredible. Not every day is going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes, right? So holding ourselves to the standard as if I need to be perfect 100% of the time doesn't work, right? Expecting myself to never have any challenging days doesn't work, right? So if I'm confident that those elements are guaranteed to make me unsuccessful, and I have a tremendous amount of evidence that that is the case, then I should just do the opposite of that, right? I should size my positions so that when I lose, I can take 1,000 shots at the market and still be in play, right? I should put myself in situations so that I don't override my system when I feel the sting of a losing trade. I should put myself in situations where when I walk away from the day, I'm excited to learn from my mistakes. So P&L is always going to be a lagging indicator. It's always going to punish you, right, when you don't want it to. So instead of committing to allowing those things to influence and break you and to cause you suffering and pain, you reclaim control by being accountable to yourself, from learning from your mistakes, from gamifying losing small, and by obsessing over playing the probabilities. Look, today sucks, right? But when I have a green day tomorrow, or I have a green day on Monday, or, you know, I crush the election and destroy that volatility, I'm going to forget the anxiety or the stress or the pressure that I felt here this morning, right? And I'm going to forget that because my risk management kept me in the game, and because I've made a commitment to myself that I'm going to learn from these mistakes. And so that's how you get good with losing, right? You don't get good at losing by losing a ton. You get good at losing by defining what a loss actually is. So no trader wins 100% of the time. That is not a reality. But every trader can learn from each decision and turn each day into a win, even if it isn't one on a P&L perspective. So if I force myself to learn from this, I force myself to improve, I force myself to notice how I behave at certain patterns, then I can fix that again tomorrow and come up with a solution for the next time I get to that fork in the road. And the more and more of those patterns that I start to notice, the more and more of those patterns that I start to solve for, the more and more detailed my plans become, then the less I'm going to repeat those mistakes. So that's it, right? That's really the only difference. It's, I think the difference between a lot of profitable traders and unprofitable traders is that unprofitable traders are committed towards the P&L. Profitable traders are committed to that lifelong journey of learning. Because every day the market highlights to me what my flaws are. And every day I have the choice to either ignore those red flags, right? Let Stephanie take advantage of me again. Or I have the choice, right, to learn from that mistake, see the red flags, overcome those pain points, and make sure that I don't make that same mistake again tomorrow. And to expect myself to be perfect is unfair. But to expect myself to get better each and every day is a realistic standard. So that's the goal, right? So yeah, P&L today, not where I wanted to have been, especially because this was like the first trend day that we've seen in a long time. But I know that I'm one trade away from being green, maybe two. But I'm also going to learn a tremendous amount about myself. I learned a tremendous about myself here today. And I learned a lot about you too, right? So Cordell learned how resilient you are. Suresh learned how resilient you are. And so that should also, right, make you very proud over the development and the steps and the progress that you're making. And yeah, challenging day. No doubt about it. Won't hide from it. Right? Show you the good, I show you the bad. But there's more good than bad if we choose to remain in control. So today, do some one-on-one calls, spend some time learning from mistakes, go for a run, probably order some Five Guys or some Chinese food or something, and then come back refreshed, ready to go, recharged for tomorrow. And then we've got a crazy week coming up, right? So this idea that there won't be a chance to make my money back, it's just a BS line you would tell yourself because you're desperate to not finish the day red. So it's the best loser that wins. And the best loser is the one that commits to learning and improving from their mistakes instead of focusing on trying to make back their P&L right away. And that's the way it goes. So hopefully, right, we all learned something here today. We can all study our training, go back, take something that we want to focus on here for tomorrow, and we'll crush. Because that's what we've done all year. That's what we've done for the last decade. So why would tomorrow be different? Why would one day change a decade of evidence, right? So it's always P&L makes us live and die with our short-term results. And that's not the reality, right? So we fight back by being deliberate in our learning curve, by being deliberate with our risk management, and by gamifying what a loss actually is and not expecting perfection from ourselves. So yeah, sucks. Absolutely sucks today. But I'm excited over what I'll learn. I'm excited for what I'm gonna, how I'm gonna clear my head this afternoon. And I'm excited to come back and trade with you all again tomorrow. And that's all a choice, right? It's all a choice. We choose how we react to the bad things that happen to us. And if your choice is to learn from those decisions and to be like, honestly, ruthless with yourself, then you're choosing to be green long term. Not every day, but long term. So that's it, guys. Final call for questions here. Final call for questions. No, my pleasure, Cordell. And I'm just passing on what someone did for me, right? Like, I think I became a good trader because I worked with someone who was just honest and transparent with me, right? Showed me the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I realized that every ugly wasn't the end of the world. So, okay. One red day in 14. That's freaking awesome. Like, you should be proud of yourself. Not to get tunnel vision on, oh my gosh, today, end of the world. And then to like wallow in misery. Screw that. And yeah, am I annoyed that I missed this trade? This would have been a monster. Would have been a freaking monster. 2K here, right? It's been up $1,000 on the day. But I didn't. So now I have to ask myself, why didn't I want to hold this? Why did I panic? Why did I let my P&L influence me? And that's it. All right, Don, you still in here? DONN. All right, man, let's jump on our one-on-one here. Let's break it down. And everyone else, have yourselves a great rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow.